Hey guys, and you want to know the true reason for the Easter season? Well, I am here to bring you some beautiful, stunning, and even cute little religious Easter DIYs that are very simple, very easy. Anybody can do it. If I made it through, you can too. This is Sabrina with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans, and of course the Mr. Moose Man. I'm trying some little different things here, so my subbies that have been around with me for a while, let me know what you think. Okay, guys, so these first couple projects were from last year. They didn't get many views when I was first starting my channel, so I figured I would throw these in here to give everybody a look since I have quite a few new subbies, almost a 1,400. And hang around till the very end because I got a new one. Okay. So this little heart thing came from Dollar Tree a couple years ago. Remember, this was last year's video, so it was probably the year before that. I had it in my stash. Those hearts came apart. I'm sure you've seen other people do this as well. I took a chunk of one of those little table rectangle signs, also from the Dollar Tree, sanded everything down, got it all good to go. I am going to use my Titebond Quick and Thick. And of course, just a little bit of hot glue that short-term, long-term hold. And I'm going to glue these pieces together as though the small heart here was the door to the cave. I know you know where I'm going with this. And then we're going to put this guy, I'm going to make sure it sits back there right behind just enough. I'm going to use those two little cubes right there to make sure that this does not fall down and to also give it a little bit more support. You can also see that in the background there, I have the letters. Those came from Hobby Lobby. That's a true story. We're going to put those on our bigger heart here. And oh yeah, that heart kind of rested right on the top of the smaller one. You're going to have to forgive me, guys. I'm doing a whole new voiceover. So yeah, I deleted the old voiceover. So this is old video, but new voiceover. So this might be a more of a hot mess than it usually is. But welcome to Hot Mess Monday, my friends. If you haven't been here before, I'm Sabrina. You'll see Moose Man here in a little bit. And you never know what's going to happen around here, especially on a Monday. All right, guys. So here we go. We got it all sanded, all pretty. It's all glued. I let it dry. Now, while that's drying over there, we're going to take 3 of these crosses that I got from the pack at Hobby Lobby. I have not seen them this year. Like I said, this was like 2 years ago or a year ago. And yeah, I did not see the crosses when I went the other day. So if you found the crosses, yay, I can't find them anymore. I took some spackling just to fill in the holes at the top because we're not going to use these for ornaments. Going to make sure that that sets up and dries. Now, I'm going to take my antique wax and that sponge brush right there. I guess I'm going to use that. This is before I learned other techniques. I've learned a lot in a year. Wow. Okay, so first of all, cut off the tips of those sponge brushes because they're so flimsy and floppy because they're just the Dollar Tree ones, and that makes it a little bit more firm for you. Now, what I'm going to do is I took 2 of the crosses and made them lighter, but I'm having one of the crosses darker, and I'm going to put that one up. These are the 3 crosses on the hill, and I'm going to make that darker one is going to be the middle one and be the higher one. There's Gracie Lou. Gracie Lou visit once in a while too. Gracie and the Moose Man, and Gracie just comes parading through. I think she liked my table better when I had that over against the opposite wall. Oh well. Okay, guys, here I'm going to take a combination of several colors, I believe. I took a gray from Waverly. Don't know which one it was. You might have saw it. And I watered it down just a little bit. I've got a piece of sponge, and I'm kind of going all over it, just kind of wiping it. And here I got a smaller paintbrush to get in all those little nooks and crannies of that heart that was on the front of that thicker heart. Yeah. Anyway, we're just rubbing this down. I'm making sure it all got covered. Not worried about that bottom at all because that's going to get covered with some moss. Now, this is a lighter gray color. And you can just see I'm kind of pouring that on top of the other gray. And I'm sure this was probably like an elephant and a steel. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I probably really don't know. Oh, it might have also been, no, probably not silver lining. That would have been too shiny. I'm sure it was probably steel, and that elephant color is probably what I used. Now you notice with that one, I sponged it on. I dabbed. I didn't wipe and smear. And then I've got some, is that black? Yes, I think you guys probably saw it before I did. I was busy over here looking at my gray stash. Taking the sponge again. You notice I'm using all the same stuff pretty much. And I dipped it in there and then got a lot of it off, offloaded it, and then just kind of pouncing everywhere. Or is that a brown? Did y'all see? Was that a brown? Was that a black? I'm telling you, this is going to be really bad. I've got to pay attention because I did this a year ago and I don't remember yesterday. And I just kept going back and forth with the sponge, dabbing it. I'm not smearing or anything. I'm dabbing it like you would your pouncers. And also notice after I stick it in the paint, I offload it a little bit before I go to my piece. I'm trying to make it kind of look like, the boulder, the cave, kind of grays and browns, and there's your honey of your moose man. Yep, even a year ago, he was the center of the spotlight. Oh, he stuck so little right there. Okay, so we're going to take another gray right here, or brown, or gray. I don't know. I was moving too fast. That looks more brown. Oh, yeah, that was a brown. I think that was truffle, and I'm going to paint the bottom just to make sure that it's covered and nothing pokes through when I do go to put the moss on here in a little bit. So, because at this point, I'm probably 9 times out of 10 probably wasn't sure what I was doing yet, but I do know now that I did put moss on it, but I was just making sure it was completely covered and good and ready to go. So we coated the sides and the top and the bottom. And look at that. Did you see that fade out before I went to the next clip? I think I did video edits better last year than I did now. But, Anywho, I'm going to make one of these, the smaller heart. That's the boulder door of the cave. And I made that one darker than the bigger heart of the cave itself. I'm going to take my plaster here. I like my plaster, not my white. And I'm going to cover all my letters, true story, with that plaster. Notice I put it on the painter's tape. That works good to keep small pieces from moving all over. And then you're not having to hang on to them and getting your hands all dirty and messing things up like I do anyway. Anywho, I distressed the crosses a little bit with that plaster. And so you can see I've got the two lighter ones and then the darker one. And I decided I liked that and I wanted to make that little heart, the more little detailed, finer design there, pop a little bit. So I kind of went over that with just that little stenciling brush, chippy brush. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to take this, what was that? The sisal. It's not really, it's twine, but it's not twine. It's pretty cool. Have this in my stash. My friend Shelley gave this to me. And I just wanted to add some more details to the crosses. So I kind of just crisscrossed back and forth and, moose. Oh, don't step on anything. Yeah, you see him in the video and he's right here with me while I'm trying to do my voiceover. And I just used a little hot glue after I crisscrossed those back and forth. If you don't want to do this, don't do this. I was just trying to add a little bit of something. Look at there. I even put my like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell in my videos back in the day a year ago. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to do things a little bit better. I'm trying. Things are going pretty good. Trying to keep them going pretty good. Okay. Trying to keep consistent with y'all. Bringing y'all stuff on a Monday. Hot Mess Monday. Okay. Now I'm going to hot glue my 3 crosses up there to the top. So you can see the darker one is in the middle and I did put it up higher. And then the 2 lighter ones are on the sides right there, just like the 3 crosses on the hill. Okay. So get those. I just used hot glue for that. And let me tell you, don't use hot glue. Use your tight bond or some wood glue and then clamp them on to dry. See here, I'm telling you, you should use. Oh, I used the wood glue for my letters, but I didn't for the crosses because I don't think I had any clamps or anything to pinch it and hold it on at the time. So do y'all remember my broke glasses? My OGs, if you've been here for a year, you remember my broke glasses that I fixed with the green painter's tape? I'm telling y'all, if you're new, yeah, Lord. Okay. Anywho, yeah, because this year when I pulled this out of the box, the top cross had popped off and I had to glue it back on. So yeah, use your wood glue or your tight bond and stick it on there. So there you go. And I just took a black piece of cardstock. I got that pack from Walmart for like $5 to just cover the back. So like the opening of the door there of the cave, we made sure that that was dark, like it's dark inside the cave. Okay. So here is some green moss. Got this from Walmart. I'm just kind of pulling it apart. Here we go with our messy moss. And I'm just going to put some glue down there. And of course, no finger protectors or spatulas. Yeah, the spatula's there. But after I smash it all on, then I get the silicone spatula, right? Because you know how I roll around here. If you've been here. If you haven't, this video is going to tell you everything. Okay, so then we trim it up a little bit. Give it a little bit of a haircut. And trim all the way around. And I see how much I used to leave in my videos because, you know, could have been done 20 minutes ago. Okay, so I wanted to put that purple sash around that top cross. I did not have any thin dark purple ribbon at the time, so I just used this burlap wide purple ribbon that I believe came from either Hobby Lobby or Walmart. And all I did was take it and I cut it into strips. Hey, there you go. You got a small piece. And I just draped that over and hot glued that on top of the cross. And that was that. And then I turned it around and I kind of angled the edges of it a little bit. So it looked a little bit more professional. Ain't nothing here professional. And there we go. True story. And so now I'm starting to add some little video clips. You'll see things now instead of at the very, very end. I'll put a final review photo at the end, but I'm kind of giving you the little video clips after each thing now. So if y'all like this better, y'all let me know down in comments. Do you want all the reveal at the end, or do you like this little video and picture reveal here after each project? Y'all let me know. The end or after each project. Okay, guys, so here's number 2. I am sorry that this is so bright. This must have been when I decided I needed every light on in the world on the white, bright. Yeah, I even took the tone down on this, and it's still, whew, so you should have seen it before I even did that. Oh, man. Okay, so I got one of those wooded, big beaded garlands at Walmart after Christmas one year, and I painted some of those with a purple. I do believe I used the lavender there from Waverly, and then I coated some of those, and then I took this big chunky cross that came from Dollar Tree several years ago, because we know, and I know here in Texas, we can't find nothing at the Dollar Tree now. Anywho, got a piece of jute there. And the first thing I did was I put it through the holes of the cross, tied it, and then I just left a lot of those beads neutral color and put a purple one kind of in between. And I did 3 of them, kind of like to represent the 3 crosses. Now we're going to make us a big tassel on here. If you're an OG, you remember how this went down. If you're a newbie, or maybe not a newbie, but did not see this video yet, just wait for it, y'all. Okay, so this part I do remember. So I had some purple fabric there that was kind of swirly, kind of tie-dye almost. Yeah, be gentle. This was my first time to make a tassel. Enjoy the show, right? And I also have some white yarn there that I got from Dollar Tree. Now, I thought I had this genius idea. You know how when you make your tassels, you have like a piece of cardboard? Well, now I know you have a piece of cardboard, and you wrap it around and around and around and around and around and around and around, and then you just cut the one end and you tie up the other end. I used one of the Dollar Tree crates because I thought this is going to be genius because it's got that hole on the end for a little handle thing, and I can just keep rolling this around. I can put my strips of fabric on. I think I decided not to use the white yarn. So it's just jute and the purple pieces of fabric that I snipped and ripped. And I thought, this is going to work great. I can tie this and it's not going to fall apart. I'm going to come down here. That hole will give me a spot to trim that up and I'll just pull it off. Yeah, you sure will, goofness. Literally, I tied it right to the box. Yeah, sure did. But we're going to figure this out. Yeah, we sure are. I cut it off. We figured it out. And I got it all tied back together. And, oh, I did put the white yarn in it. Yep, I see it in there now. Anywho. And we'll just get that tied to the other end of the beads. And then I'll kind of smush it take some more jute and wrap it around and around and around and around, and we'll put that knot up at the top. I know that's a really big tassel, but hey, go big or go home, right? So I'll wrap that around quite a few times. Get that done at the end. I will trim up the bottom ends to line everything up, make sure it looks all nice and pretty. And there you go. One of the first attempts to making a tassel, and you see how that went. I do know now better how to make a tassel. And I can do it even with just my hands if I'm making a little baby small one. I'm getting it, guys. I'm getting it. Only year later. Oh, I'm so excited. You guys know in July, it'll be my year anniversary. Or maybe June, because I did a July video for 4th of July. So it's probably a June video. Anyway, sorry, off topic, because I left all this in and I shouldn't have. Okay, so here's the video of our little beaded garland. Kind of just showing you how it looks. You can style it any way you want. I like the purples when it comes to Easter, because that represented royalty, and we see a lot of that when we're referring to the crosses and everything. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here's the third one. This is still another old one. Stay in there. Hang with me. Hang with me. The new one's coming. I promise. We are going to make a little lamb. Now, I remember this to the day. I saw Tasha from Sunflower Tasha DIYs. She's amazing. Go check her out. I'll try to remember to link her channel in my description box for you guys. She does lots of neat junk journaling stuff as well, and she is very religious based with her crafts, Christian based. She does some amazing things. So if you like the Christian thing with your decor, you need to go check her out. So I'll definitely try to remember to link her down below. Okay, to the project. So we had one of those crates. I painted it white. I took 4 of those beads, painted them black. Now, those little craft projects came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just needing one of them. I didn't want it to have the brown head. I wanted to have a black head. So I had some felt from Dollar Tree, and I just traced the cream colored head to the black, and boom. Now that black felt was real thin, but the brown felt that came with the kit was thick. So I then glued it together with my Aleene's tacky glue, just to give it a really thick, because that black was thin. That glue would have went right through that and everything. Anywho, you then now take that and glue it to the white, and it just had little lamb heads. It came with some little legs and stuff too. Now, I'm going to bust out the googly eyes. Of course, I love me some googly eyes. Going to get 2 little googly eyes on there. I just hot glued. Be careful if you do use hot glue with your googly eyes. Sorry about the big head and the big wonky part down the middle of the back of it. Okay, so we got those glued on there. Okay, it's so cute. I love this. I absolutely love this. Okay, so there were other pieces and other scraps. It was a little green bow you could put on it, but I was like, no, we don't want a green bow. I'm just taking some Dollar Tree ribbon there. Before, of course, it went to $1.75. And I just made me a little finger bow and trimmed it up a little bit. And now she's got a little purple buffalo check plaid bow. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so this is all dry now. So I'm going to take my 4 black beads and I'm going to glue 1 in each corner. And that's his little feetsies. And then we will glue her head onto the front right there, just like so. And if you want a better hold, obviously don't use the hot glue, use your tight bond, whatever. Now, here I'm thinking, she got to have a tail. Well, luckily, I make keychains, and I had all these tassels that I ordered. And so I'm taking one of my black tassels that you can put on keychains and stuff, and that's her tail. I couldn't resist, because you don't want nothing too big, because they don't have big tails, but you got to have a little something, something, right? Okay, so using a little piece of floral foam, I'm just going to stick that down in there, and then we need to cut a chunk off another piece, and I'm just using just a plastic little spatula thing here to do that. Oh, that's my little cricket heat thing. Moose man. Okay. And then I've got this greenery and stuff from Dollar Tree when this was the good stuff. Look how pretty that stuff was. I've got a white pick and then the purple pick. And I'm just going to cut pieces of this off. Notice, again, just like always, I did not hot glue the foam into the lamb. And I am not hot gluing any of my florals into the foam either, because I just don't like to do that. I want to be able to change it out if I want to, or somebody, I give this to him as a gift, and there's the Moose Man as he sits here poofing me in the face with his tail right now this second. So I get that all filled up with those pretty greenery, and that was the greenery too. I know it's hard to see because I had all these lights on back then, but it's the frosted with the white kind of fuzzy on it. And then here's one of those crosses that says He is Risen. Got those from Hobby Lobby one year. I got 3 of those. You'll see another one here at the end. If you did not see my blue twill, where I use my blue and white napkins to do the eggs and the cross and the bunny, I'll show you that here at the end, and you can check out that channel below too, because that gives you a little bit more of Christian decor. Now you can see I took this video today, and you notice the cross now says Faith, because I couldn't find my original cross I used that said He is Risen, which is what I really wanted, but because it goes with the whole theme, and I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's buried in one of my 4 boxes that are behind me here. All right, guys, here's your new one. I got this adorable bunny wreath at Walmart for like $6 something. I couldn't believe it. So what we're going to do is put our own little spin on it. I had this cross. I think I found that in my mama's stash. Thank you, Mama. And I had that napkin. I'm so lost in my words, guys, and I'm tired, and it's Sunday, and this losing an hour. Oh, that beautiful napkin came from my friend Joanna at Joanna's DIY Life. She is amazing and beautiful. You got to go check her out too. She can give you some beautiful Christian decor. Oh man, just beautiful stuff. I'll remember to try to link her channel down below too. So I painted it with lavender, thinking, okay, because you want to paint it to really make your colors pop on your napkin. But I wanted to do the lavender since the bunny was white, and I knew it was going to make it darker, but it turns out being too dark. So I'll show you how we fix that. So, and the only part that had the crosses on that napkin was one side in the center. That was it. So you can see, I just took my scissors, kind of cut it out. You could take your some water with a paintbrush, go around it, but we're going to sand it all off anyway. So I just made sure it was big enough. Start it one under the other, Mod Podge it, get it on there. Be careful, press down lightly. Make sure you got all the plies off the back of your napkin. These were Dollar Tree, I think, so they only had the one extra ply on the back. Once I got that podged on there, I then took my lighter, did the lighter method, went all the way around. You then take your sander, get all the extra. So there it is. And I was like, okay, yep, that's too dark. Yep, spun it around again for you. And so luckily, Joanna had sent me 2 or 3 of those napkins. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this other side white and then put that napkin on it. And there we go. And here's your Moose Man, ladies. There he is. Look, yeah, knocking it out. Bless you, Moose. Bless you. There he goes. Gonna chew on that. Chew on me. You guys make sure to like, subscribe, support the Moose Man, my craft habit, because you never know what he's gonna break next. Greatness, right? So there it is, now painted white, and it looks much better. But hey, at least we have both sides covered, right? Because you could see the back of it, like if you had this on a screen door or a glass door, or if you put it in a window, you're going to be able to see the back of the cross. So, hey, both sides are pretty. If I decide to take this apart, I can do something else, and I've got both sides already done. I'm taking this little brushy pen that I got off Temu, and what did I use? I didn't use Vintage Photo, did I? Did I use the walnut, or did I use Vintage Photo? Y'all saw it a little while ago, because I keep talking and rambling. And went around my edges with that brush, and then took a little bit of extra, and got that all pretty and distressed, because we've got to distress something around here, because we are distressed. Okay, I pulled that floral pick off. I love the lamb's ear that was in it, and I love that white cream colored satin bow. But it needed more, and you see those big, huge green leaves? I fought with those things. I left them on there because they were a really dark green, and so it gave it more color, but these 2 on top, oh my gosh, I should have just ripped them off. Anyway, it's all tied, it's all glued together. You saw at the beginning when I started that they were just on there with some metal wire. So I saved that. And what I'm doing now is taking some lavender that I used in my last video on Friday that you saw Moose drag off and try to fight me over. I just wanted to put some other color in this because it was literally greenery and that's it. But I wanted some color so I could match the colors of my napkin. So I had got all of that was Dollar Tree stuff except for the lavender sticks and the lamb's ear. I bought extra lamb's ear at Walmart. I put some white lilies in there. That's Dollar Tree. I think those were ranunculus, the peachy looking colored ones. And then I've got some darker purple vine stuff that you'll see hanging down the sides here. That was Dollar Tree as well. I just wanted that color in there to match the napkin. So there we go. Now we're going to take this satin ribbon. I didn't want to waste it because it looked pretty trashy if you saw it at the very beginning, but I didn't want to waste it. So I got it pulled off carefully. Set your little heat press thing there, or if you got an iron, just make sure you're good. I'm not ironing directly on my glass mat there. And have it on a low temperature. Don't turn it up real high. And you see how quick, I know this is sped up, but it's still very fast. And it irons out your ribbon. Boom. There you go. Now in this very middle part, there was hot glue. So that's kind of still there, but that'll be okay because that's where the knot of the bow is going to go. Now I wanted to put me a bow together. So I had a scrap of that burlap twine looking stuff you see that came from Hobby Lobby, I believe it was. Or maybe my friend Shelly gave it to me. I don't know. I've got so much of this stuff for so long. And I made all of my ribbons as long as that burlap wired looking one. And once I got all those cut, I realized, wait, we've got to put the cross on before we put the bow on. So that would have been fun. Anyway, so since my florals are just wired down, I push that up a little bit. And we can put the hot glue at the top and then a little bit at the bottom. This barely fits. It's barely tall enough. So it's right on the edges. And I kind of mess it up down here because, of course, that's that fuzzy foam stuff. So the hot glue, melts that mess, What I did later is after I held it here for a little bit, I pulled the florals down and put some more glue between the cross and the florals. I also added more to the back. I ended up taking on my ribbon. I was going to make, the cancer awareness and then pull it in the middle and that didn't work out. So then I just made like a scrappy, messy bow out of all of it. I cut all the strips down, made a messy bow. None of them, of course, had wire except for the bottom jute looking fence wire looking stuff. So I made sure that was on the bottom and then I kind of rolled it under once I got it hot glued to the wreath, and that kind of puffed up all those other ribbons. And then I took that satin ribbon that it came with and tied it back to a pretty bow, glued that in the middle. Am I happy with that bow? Absolutely not. But it is what it is. Now, this was the ribbon, more of that white satin, just a skinnier satin. That was the hanger on the back. I had pulled that off, snipped the knot off, and we'll just fold it back around here, right between his ears, and we'll glue that back down. Look, I got smart that time. Let me use the spatula, not my finger. But here I'll use my finger. And then once I got that on, I got some skinny pieces of burlap ribbon. And I put 2 strips across the bottom of that just to make sure that that was going to hold pretty firmly. So I know it's not going to fall off the hanger because this is really, really light. That bunny head is the foam stuff, and the heaviest thing on here is the florals. So, but it's really not that heavy at all. So when you see me flip it back over here, there we go. We got our pops of color in there to match our cross and napkin. So I'm not happy with the bow, but it's okay. It's kind of growing on me. Not exactly the bow I wanted to make, but And I love that purple greenery. That's pretty much what they called it, a vine from Dollar Tree that I got like 2-3 years ago. and it's longer on one side than the other, and I really like that. Sorry for the shadows there, guys. So we just spruced that little thing up from Walmart. Here's what I was talking to you about. I wanted to make sure you guys saw that cross as well. I decoupaged it with some napkins that I had bought from Hobby Lobby to do kind of the, blue china kind of stuff. So there you go, guys. Let me know how you like the new little deals going on. I love you guys so much. Y'all have a good week, and I will see you next Monday.